had been learning about liquid crystals in our two of the previous videos. So let's continue our learning of liquid crystals. Up till now, we have learned that in a crystalline solid, the molecules are ordered in positional as well as orientational order. That is, they are constrained to occupy specific lattice sites in a lattice and to point their molecular axis in a specified direction. As we can see in this figure, the crystal is having the molecules at specific lattice sites which are fixed in its position, and the molecules don't move from these lattice sites. So that means when they are fixed in their lattice sites, that means their position is fixed. So we say that the solids or the crystal possess the positional order, right? Also we can see that the molecules, they all are aligned in their specific lattice sites. They all are aligned in a particular direction. That means they have an orientation. So we say that the crystal or the solid phase possesses the orientational order also, right? But as we move further, on the other hand, to the liquid phase, we see that the molecules in a liquid diffuse randomly throughout the sample without any orientational order. As we can see in the liquid phase, the molecules, they are randomly arranged. Okay, they don't have any fixed orientation. This molecule is aligned towards this direction, the other one is aligned towards the other direction. So in short, all the molecules, they are randomly arranged in different directions. So we say that they all are not oriented in one particular specified direction. Hence it is said that the liquids or the liquid phase do not have orientational order. On the other hand, if we talk about the positional order of the liquids, we see that the molecules, they are not fixed in one position. So when the molecules are not fixed in one position, that means they are continuously moving from one place to another. And so in short, we say that the liquid also does not possess the positional order. Okay. Thus a crystal has orientational and a three-dimensional positional order, whereas a liquid has none of them. Now in contrast to the solid or the crystal and the liquid phase, the liquid crystal phase, they have long range orientational order. Now these two figures represent the liquid crystal phase. As we can see, the molecules here are very neatly aligned in one particular orientation or in one particular direction, and most of the molecules, they are oriented in the same direction. So we say that the liquid crystal molecules, they possess orientational order. Okay, but if we talk about the positional order of the liquid crystals, the position of molecule is not fixed just like solids. Okay, why? Because there is no specific lattice sites over here. Okay, so the liquid crystal molecules, they are moving continuously, and so their position is not fixed. In other words, we say that the liquid crystal molecules, they do not have positional order. Although when they are moving continuously, they are aligning themselves towards a particular direction. Or in other words, we say while moving also from their position, they are oriented in a specified direction. So we say that the liquid crystal possesses the orientational order, but it lacks the positional order. Okay, and in other words, if we put it, we say that the liquid crystals possess anisotropic properties. Why? Because they have rod-like shape, or they are rod-shaped molecules. Okay. Also, we say that due to their fluidity nature, or let's say due to the nature which imparts fluidity to these molecules, due to this nature, whenever they are kept in the presence of electric field, what happens actually? They quickly reorient themselves under the influence of that external electric field, right? And this property of liquid crystal is very interesting, and it is a vast application that we will be studying in upcoming videos also. Okay, the latest technology which is based and which are being or upcoming technologies also which are being using liquid crystals, they are taking advantage of this property of liquid crystal, that is they orient themselves immediately when the external electric field or the moderate electric field is applied to them. Why? Because the molecules, they possess the fluid nature, or they impart the fluidity to the liquid crystals. And if you remember, the fluidity is imparted by because they have flexible ends, that is the long hydrocarbon chain which is attached to the liquid crystal molecules, if we go further in our previous videos. Okay, and also they possess long range orientational order we just mentioned. After that, we discussed about the classification of liquid crystals, wherein we mentioned that the liquid crystals can be broadly classified into two categories. One of them is called as lyotropic liquid crystal. Lyotropic liquid crystals are those which are formed whenever the change in concentration of the solvent is taking place. So this is the primary reason of the formation of such type of liquid crystals. Okay, although in many of the books and in discussions and research also a secondary parameter of temperature is also added with the concentration, but majorly the formation of such type of liquid crystals take place by the change in concentration. Okay, the second type of liquid crystal is a thermotropic liquid crystal. Now, thermo is related to heat, we had mentioned earlier also. So whenever a liquid crystal is getting formed due to the change in temperature, so that type of liquid crystal is called as thermotropic liquid crystal. Okay, so likewise there are thermotropic and lyotropic liquid crystals, as we have just mentioned. And also we had learned about that the fluidity is there, and long range orientational order is also present in the liquid crystals. Okay, and of course they show anisotropic properties. Okay, now most of the crystals, they transform directly into the liquid phase. That means you provide some energy to the crystal or some heat energy to the crystal, to be specific about, it will change to the liquid state directly. Okay, so that the long range translational order as well as long range orientational order of the molecules are destroyed simultaneously. Okay, and the transition to the intermediate liquid crystal phase may be brought about by two modes. First can be the change in concentration, and the second can be the change in temperature. When the change in temperature is responsible for the formation of the liquid crystals, we call them as thermotropic liquid crystals. Okay, and the thermotropic liquid crystals are exhibited by large number of pure compounds, which usually are seen to have molecular weight in the range of 250 to 500. Okay, now let's discuss about the thermotropic liquid crystals in detail. Fine. We mentioned that whenever the change in temperature is responsible for the formation of the liquid crystal, so those type of liquid crystals, they are called as thermotropic liquid crystals. Actually, what happens now? These are the liquid crystal molecules. Okay, so when the temperature is applied to the liquid, to the solid state, okay, or let's say when the temperature increases, okay, then what happens? It makes a rise in energy of the molecules also. How? Genuine enough to say that the molecules, they take the heat energy, the energy which is provided to the molecules. Okay, and whenever they absorb the energy, obviously their energy, the energy of the molecules, it also increases. Okay, now when the rise in energy of the molecule occurs, therefore the motion of the components will induce a phase transition. They will start moving from their fixed lattice sites. Okay, and when such movement occurs, definitely there is a transition, there will be a change. Okay, on the other hand, actually thermotropic liquid crystals may also be obtained on supercooling and isotropic liquid. Like we are just talking about the other way around. Initially we talked about solid, starting from solid, you provide the heat energy to the solid, and then the molecules will move on, gain energy, move on, and they will show a transition, and then slowly they will move to the liquid crystal phase, and finally they will move to the liquid state. Okay, now if we talk vice versa, we start from the liquid. Okay, so from liquid also, it is not that from solid only we can obtain the liquid crystal. From liquids also we can obtain the liquid crystal state. How? By supercooling an isotropic liquid below the melting point of the crystalline solid. Okay, and in that case they are described as monotropic phases. Okay, usually what has been observed, it is that these liquid crystals, that is the thermotropic liquid crystal molecules, they are rod or lathe shaped molecules and organic molecules also. Okay, so from this statement we gather up 2 points or 2 features of the thermotropic liquid crystals. That is, first of them is that the molecules, they belong to the category of organic molecules. Okay, so it is the most of the molecules are organic molecules usually, okay, which show the feature of the thermotropic liquid crystals, or which can form or which are capable of forming the thermotropic liquid crystals. And the second information that we gain from this statement is that those molecules, they are rod shaped. Like for example, you can see here in the image which is over here, these molecules, they are elongated, they are rod shaped. All these, they can form the thermotropic liquid crystals. Okay, and what happens actually, the enantiotropic phases exist as thermodynamically stable phase between what, between the crystalline state and the isotropic liquid state. Okay, so the phases that we are talking about here are those enantiotropic phases, right? This phase is a thermodynamically stable phase, and obviously when this phase is getting formed, or any liquid crystal phase is getting formed, it lies intermediate between the crystalline solid and the isotropic liquid, that we also know, right? So it is said that the stable phase between the crystal lies between the melting point of the crystal and the clearing point. Okay, now when we mention the clearing point over here, clearing point is actually the temperature at which liquid becomes clear, or let's say a transparent liquid is obtained. Okay, a clear liquid without fogginess, without any cloudiness, or without any such thing visible, it is obtained due to the reversible transition to the isotropic state, right? And the very common examples are para-isoxyanizole and MBPA. Okay, moving further, let's highlight these points so that they are captured in our brain properly. Okay, and the next properties of the thermotropic liquid crystals, very interesting. Raising the temperature of any material results in progressive destruction of molecular order. Now, what does this mean? We have mentioned earlier also, so that's not a difficult task to understand the statement. Okay, so what the statement wants to pass on the information, it says that whenever we have any material, okay, let's see, we have solid substance. Okay, so the solid molecules are there, right? So when we raise the temperature of that substance, what happens? It gathers energy, it gathers heat energy definitely, and it moves to a higher energy state. And when such things happen, whenever molecule acquires energy and moves to a higher energy state, it starts moving up, right? Now try to imagine the situation in your in mind, that initially the molecules were fixed, they were tightly packed, they were fixed in their respective lattice sites, they're not capable of moving here and there. Okay, they're not allowed to move here and there. Now what do? You provide the energy to this particular crystal. Okay, so the moment you provide energy to the crystal, molecule will gain energy and they will start moving, they will start fidgeting, they will try to move from their fixed position. Okay, and when they move from their fixed position, when they start moving from fixed position, obviously the orderly arrangement of the crystal lattice is disturbed. Okay, so this is what it is mentioned here, that the progressive destruction of the molecular order is disturbed. Okay, so there is a destruction of molecular order, or the order in which the molecules were arranged in a disciplined manner, it gets disturbed, right? So that is how the formation of liquid crystal or thermotropic liquid crystal, specifically mentioned here, is initiated. Okay, now what happens? These thermotropic materials which are present, they pass through more than one mesophase between the solid and isotropic liquid phases. Okay, what happens basically? The thermotropic liquid crystal phase has started forming. Okay, now when you keep on increasing the temperature, what happens? The molecules, obviously, they will keep on gaining the energy and they will keep on changing their their arrangement, right? So what happens, as the temperature increases, the arrangement of the molecule also gets disturbed. Or let's say after every particular span of temperature, we get a different arrangement of molecules. Okay, so in that way we can say that, let's say, suppose temperature x to y is experiencing a particular arrangement of molecules. Now when you move from temperature y to z, this arrangement which was present in the range of x to y, it gets changed, right? And the molecules, they arrange themselves in some other pattern. Okay, so what is happening here? The change in temperature is taking place, and so is the arrangement of molecules also. And these different arrangement of molecules, they give rise to these intermediate small slots of phases, and they are called as mesophases. Okay, so in a short lifespan, or let's say in a short journey from crystalline solid to the isotropic liquid, there are many phases which are getting formed and which are getting changed by the change in temperature. Now since more than one phase, or let's say more than one mesophase is getting formed by the change in temperature during this short journey, so such materials are called as polymorphous. Poly means many. Okay, so there are many changes taking place. Why? Because of the change in the arrangement of molecules and these different phases. We call them as different phases now. Okay, a definite arrangement of molecules is called as, let's say, phase 1. Another phase of molecules is having a separate arrangement of molecules. Okay, so these mesophases are present and such substances are called as polymorphous. Okay, the order of stability of these different mesophases, okay, it is totally dependent upon the change in temperature. In other words, we can predict the stability of one particular phase by a particular temperature or temperature range. After that temperature range, that particular phase does not exist and it gets changed to some other form. Okay, so this is what is mentioned over here. The order of stability of mesophases can be predicted with respect to the change in temperature, right? And with the change in temperature, since many phases are getting formed or mesophases are getting formed, okay, so they can be divided into three categories, broad categories: nematic liquid crystals, cholesteric liquid crystals, and smectic liquid crystals. Right, let's start with the study of the nematic liquid crystals. Nematic liquid crystals, actually, as you can see in the figure also, suppose we have a system which is represented by a box over here, right? And in this system, the nematic liquid crystal molecules are present, or let's say a substance is there which is actually having the nature of nematic liquid crystals, right? So these molecules in that particular substance which is actually a nematic liquid crystal, the molecules, as we know, they will be rod like, definitely, okay? And they are aligned in this manner. All the molecules, they are aligned in this manner. Okay, actually, if we compare it with the crystalline state of solid, or let's say if we compared with other stages, the nematic liquid crystal phase shows the molecules as less ordered. Okay, so they are not that orderly disciplined molecules. Okay, they are less ordered, and the molecules have long axes arranged statistically parallel over large distance in the fluid, right? Actually, what happens, they are oriented parallel to the director, and they possess enough intermolecular forces so that they stay parallel to one another, right? So this is how they are, just let's say they are aligned in a particular direction, and they are so well behaved in their own system. The molecules do not have any positional order. Definitely they do not have a positional order. Why? Because they are not fixed in their position, right, and can rotate freely about their long axis as well. Okay, usually what happens, this we can represent with the help of the figure. Like for example, this is a system, okay, which is having nematic liquid crystal molecules in it. Okay, so we say that the molecules, they do not have any positional order. That means they are not fixed in their positions. Why? Because they are continuously moving. Okay, and they are rotating freely also. They are rotating freely about their long axis, right? Now we say that these molecules, they possess orientational order. Why orientational order? Because most of the molecules, whenever they move, they are oriented in one particular direction. This is how the molecules are oriented in the same direction. So they had been moving. Let's see it again. Molecule is moving, right, oriented in that direction. The orientation in which the molecule was there initially, it does not change even if it is moving, which is represented by such figure. Okay, so orientation does not change. That is why we say they have orientational order. The molecules actually in nematic phase, they usually form a fluid of low viscosity and exhibits only long range orientational order. This is how long range orientational order is depicted over here. Throughout the entire portion of the system, the molecule will be oriented similarly, no matter how much they are moving. They'll be aligned in that direction and they'll move, right? The long axis of molecules, they tend to align parallel within the macroscopic volume of the liquid. Okay, now nematic word actually comes from the meaning which is which actually means thread-like. Okay, so the molecules appear thread-like and hence are called as nematic, which actually means thread-like. Nematic liquid crystals are either optically inactive or rather they are racemic modifications, right? They have long range orientational order, right? And yes, of course, we have different molecules which show nematic behavior and the most important linkage group. So if you want to know whether this particular molecule will show the nematic liquid phase or let's say the smectic liquid phase, which we will study in our upcoming video, right? So how to know? By looking at the structure of the molecule, the most important linkage groups which are present in such type of liquid crystals, it is the azo group, that is nitrogen-nitrogen double bond, okay, or azoxy group, or it can be an ester group. So if an ester group is present in the molecule, definitely it has the full chances or full probability of showing the nematic behavior or the nematic liquid crystal behavior. Okay, and yes, there are Schiff's bases and unsaturated groups also. If they are present in a molecule, then it will show the nematic liquid crystal phase. So we will remember such points for nematic liquid crystals, that they are, since they appear thread-like and nematic means thread-like, so they have been named as nematic liquid crystals. And one important point is that they are either optically inactive or they are racemic modifications, right? Thank you, and we will be continuing with smectic liquid crystals in our next video.